right, we will call the school committee meeting from July 11th to order. We have nobody remote, so we'll no need to do roll call. Chuck, unfortunately, unable to make it because he had to travel for business. So we'll do a quick walkthrough of the agenda and then dive in. We'll start with any public comment. Anybody here from the public who wants to make a comment?
A big crowd.
It would be 3 minutes and your name and address, please. Thank you. We move down. We have consent agenda, and then we have reports. Dr. Milczewski and any liaison subcommittee reports. We then do some procedural related work on a year-by-year basis. SEAM, Collaborative and North Shore Education Consortium, we need to appoint Dr. Milczewski again to the board, do annually. We then have some review of our liaison subcommittee reports with a likely vote for a recommendation change for the Gillham School Building Committee. And then some discussion through the meeting calendar and agenda related items for the 24-25 school year. Towards the end of the meeting, we will review the status of the AFNAC committee. Just like saying that. And then we'll end with our finalized reorganization of the vice chair position, which was postponed from the last meeting. Okay. I've been told keep this short, keep this sweet. So here we go, people. Let's go. Any public comment? No, nobody's here. So let's have a motion on the consent agenda, please.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Seconded by Sean. Any discussion? Any adjustments to the minutes? Anything else? Nope. All right. All in favor? All opposed? And it passes. And now we move down to reports. Dr. Milczewski.
Great. Just one quick update. I'm going to share an announcement that we shared with the Parker committee just a couple of weeks ago. We're thrilled to share that we have named Dr. Jill Story as the interim principal for the 2024-2025 school year. For those who don't know Dr. Story, she was the assistant principal in her first year last year at Parker Middle School. Prior to coming to Parker, she has served as the assistant principal at Medford High School, the 7 to 12 social studies department chair at Masco, and has been a classroom teacher for over 20 years at Masco, Chelmsford High School, and Andover High School. She has a doctorate degree from Northeastern, master's degree from Salem State and Simmons, and a bachelor's degree from the University of Virginia. We're thrilled to be able to add a leader for caliber, or have a leader for caliber slide into the interim principal role. We have posted the interim assistant principal role. Process is ongoing right now, and the department hopes to name the interim assistant principal next week. Also, as we should deal with Dr. Bill Stories in the interim principal role, we will post the principal role, full-time principal role next year on a more favorable timeline, which likely will be in the around January next year, 2025. I'd like to give a quick thank you to all the members of the committee who served on the screening committee: Julie Matrano, Maria Morgan, Lindsay Monahan, Casey McKay, Ann Ozanian, Christina Dorico, Jess Doherty, Peggy McElhenney, Leah Christie, Betancourt, John Masciarelli, Steve Burnham, Curtis Martin, and Sean Branch. Appreciate all of your time in supporting the process. So congratulations to Dr. Story. We're really excited to see how Parker moves forward under her leadership.
Great. Thank you. Any questions? All right, so we'll move to liaison reports. We'll start down there today. Carla?
Just quick update that on Monday the 15th, there is a community meeting in Reading Public Library, 7 o'clock. We're going to be talking about, they've cut down the alternatives. So there's going to be an evaluation of the alternatives. Committee kind of cut our options down from like 10 to a couple of viable, but a couple that we need. And that is at 7 p.m. So everything.
We are posted for that. Yes, we are right now posted.
And I should say, we're going to do a presentation on the having full RISE program under one month. It was really well received.
We were all able to receive the last one, just so the public is aware.
So are you voting on the final scheme that night? No. Okay. It's the presentation on what it was narrowed down to for the public. Okay.
And then we're gonna we'll vote on it in months. So we want people's input
at like your next business meeting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Correct. I think there's a business meeting between now and the business. So I think they want on the 22nd to your next business.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sean?
Just one quick FinCom update. They're meeting towards the end of June. I don't remember the exact date. They reviewed their draft calendar for next year. I think the financial forums are relatively ink at this point, so it's September 18th and October 30th. for the 2 financial forums. They had TBDs on the school budget reviews, obviously, they collaborate with us, but I just want to give folks a heads up on that.
Usually October 30th.
September 18th, October 30th. Yep.
That's great feedback today, especially to make sure we think about that. Okay.
No conflicts. They did peek ahead.
Here,
No reports tonight.
sure.
No report.
Probably good. Okay. And I don't have a report of substance.
One non-substantive.
No pickleball. So, okay, we'll move on from there. All right, so moving down to item C1, which is the appointment for Dr. Milcheski or technically anybody else if we decide to appoint somebody else to the collaborative boards. We annually do this. We'll keep it one by one. First with the SEAM Collaborative. Pretty straightforward motion. I think, Erin, if you have that for us.
Motion to appoint the superintendent to the SEAM Collaborative. Collaborative board.
Yep. Seconded by Sean. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed, and it passes 5-0. Do you have a public comment? I'll pause. Okay. Second motion for C2, please, for North Shore Education.
Motion to approve the superintendent to the North Shore Education Consortium Collaborative Board.
Seconded by Carla. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? It passes. All right, so Dr. Milcheski, you already were that anyway, but congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so we're moving on to the next topic, which we have the liaison subcommittee related stuff. So I put the memo together. Sarah had informed me that she has a lot going on work-wise, and she needs to step down to the Killen School Building Committee. I'm going to nominate Sean. You and I haven't talked about it, so hopefully that's okay with you. But I think that would help keep the balance of the committee in line, and we have to have a technical nomination in this particular case. And unlike normal cases where the chair can appoint to a committee, because this is the Killen School Building Committee, we have the school committee to make a technical recommendation to then the Permanent Building Committee Appointment Committee, which is the appointment committee for this Killen School Building Committee. I say that a few times. So that's one, if Sean accepts that. And then second, Erin also has highlighted that both the Reading Coalition for Prevention Support and the Partners and Allies for Inclusive Reading meet on the same Wednesday every month. She can't really attend the meetings. They mostly meet at the same time. But we wanted to see if there was any volunteer movement there. And Chuck let me know that he does have a little bit of bandwidth, but he doesn't, so he's willing to cover for somebody else if somebody wants to jump into Erin's spot, one of those Erin spots. Let's start with the first topic, and then if there's anything else anybody else wants to talk, we can include that down the path. So, Sean, you nodded, so I think you're okay with that.
Good, yeah.
So then,
You need a second.
there's no motion yet.
Okay.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
We have to come up with a motion. So this is where I wish I had this motion already. But I'll say it, just so we can work our way through. Yeah. In alignment with the town bylaws, I move that the school committee recommend to the Permanent Building Committee Appointment Committee to appoint Sean Brandt to the Killen School Building Committee.
Second.
Second by Erin. Any further discussion?
We need to specify in the motion in lieu of Sarah, or is Sarah formally stepping down? What does it look like?
Great point. Let's specify that, right? We'll amend it as Sarah McLaughlin needs to step down from the committee to work on this.
Sure. Second.
Okay. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Right. So we have a second. We have it. We're good to go. Any further conversation on the topic? No. All in favor? All opposed? And that passes 5-0.
I thank Sarah for all your work and all your input on the Killen Building Committee, and Sean, what's working with you?
Yeah, same.
Thank you. Wish I had been able to put more time to spend on it, Carla. I really appreciate your leadership as the chair on that committee. You put up a so I appreciate that. I wish I'd been able to, that work wasn't so chaotic.
Thank you.
Okay, so, that portion is complete. Now let's move on to the others. Does anybody have a willingness to trade into Aaron's spot? Maybe Chuck could cover that spot that they're in, or anything else along those lines? I think it's the last Wednesday of every month, right? Aaron, I think you said.
Oh, it's like
Third Wednesday of every month?
And they both meet, like, Coalition usually meets at 5:30, CARE usually meets at 6. So, same time, tough time.
You said it's one,
What, third Wednesday?
third Wednesday.
I think so.
Is both
Paris
usually have a
meeting.
remote option too.
And is it monthly or?
Yeah, because Paris meeting next week.
Which we don't meet in December.
Yeah.
I can't, my work schedule is, that's where I've really been doing things a lot.
Yeah, it's a rough time of day. What you said, who was at 5:30?
Coalition is at 5:30. Definitely Zoom is fine. There tends to be a mix. Pair is usually at 6 o'clock, like 6 to 7:30. Fewer on Zoom, but they do have the option.
If there's nobody else who's available, I can try and make the coalition ones work. It's most of the best one that's more Zoom.
It is.
Okay, do you want to give up anything to do that, or do you just, other than SBC, which you?
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing on my plate, really. If Chuck has availability, you can bring up anything else.
Chuck's coming off of charter review and SWEC. He did just pick up, the athletic one,
He's
but
still in policy.
he's still in policy.
I mean, if he's interested in RCTV, otherwise I can probably cover that. Person, I can keep it and just stick on.
Okay. Why don't we keep it so that you keep it for now, then maybe you and I can check with Chuck to see on that, whether he's
That's
interested in
fine.
RCTV.
There hasn't been a ton of school related work on RCTV.
Okay.
So just that way.
Okay. Good. So then we'll go ahead and have Sarah cover the coalition, and you'll still cover PAIR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, to be clear, I wish I could stay on both of them, but I just
Not enough time today.
Especially when they usually conflict at the
Yeah.
same point in time.
Yeah.
And I would say as well, I put at the end that there were these older joint labor management committees that we were assigned to before. In looking through some of the contracts, some of them are going to come back, but some of them are going to be replaced by new ones. Like we're going to have a nurse, GLMC, and a few others. But I wanted to.
You're already on that.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have that noted, so that's good. So we'll review that again with the administration, because there are also some that the para one as well, if I recall correctly. So we'll review that and then come back and say, what do we need committee representation on, and adjust that at a later point in time. Is there any other thoughts or feedback on the rest of this? Okay. I was saying that, just sort of full disclosure, I was saying to Aaron and Tom and Aaron and my weekly catch up that I fully acknowledge that policy didn't get as much done last year. And I have for mask a rather large list of things that I'm going to create. Again, a new index of stuff to get done. We're probably not going to cover a lot of it. We know we have at least one policy that we have been tracking as well throughout the last year or so that we need to work through. So we'll find a way to get some of that done in some way, shape, or form. It's not going to be as quiet this coming year as it was last year. No. Okay. I know. Steps you high bar the bridge. So, all right. Any further conversation in this meeting? Nope.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now let's move on to the calendar and the agenda, any agenda item discussions. Just wanted to iron this out because there were so many kind of optionality points as we were looking at the year, and there's some concerns I had as I was looking at the end of the year as well. So I wanted to get people's alignment and agreement. And then, I think Sarah had a great idea when I was talking to her the other day, is to see if Olivia could put out, meeting hold calendars items that would align to these. And then potentially, as we go through this, maybe we can update that with the Zoom meeting as well, where necessary. So it's quickly available to people on their phones or something like that, just to idea to continue to help us work these things. We don't often have to be remote, but at least if it's there, it's quickly going. So the first one is, August 8th. Olivia sent me a note that we will have the handbooks ready, but not until the 22nd of August. So that would have been something that theoretically could have happened on the 8th and might have been good to have a little earlier in the summer. But those will be ready for the 22nd. A lot of the stuff that we had last year for that early August meeting is what we're doing today. So we don't really have a lot more August 8th at the stage right now. So we just want to check with anybody else to see if there's anything they felt like we needed to address this summer that was pressing. And if not, then we can cancel that meeting and just go to August 22nd. But looking for feedback.
Nothing on my radar.
Support canceling. All right, so August 8th is hereby canceled. So now I want to just any other key agenda items throughout the year. I want to make sure we have a chance to hear from that. If anybody has any thoughts or feedback, anything that they feel like we haven't addressed or they want to address. We have a pretty big year from a Killam perspective, so I think one of the things I want to do is align the Killam schedule and make sure we can attend as many of those meetings as possible as well. We have the upcoming joint sponsorship with CPAC and some other meeting stuff as well. But I just wanted to see if anybody else had anything else they wanted to focus on, any particular maybe strategy items or goal items that we need to work on, or that it's on the list that maybe we haven't yet achieved. Thoughts, ideas, feedback.
I mean, I think most of the things that are still a focus for us, for RA focus for us right now, still fit pretty cleanly into the regular curriculum updates and things like that we get. So I'm not sure there's anything that requires carve out time that I'm thinking of, but what others think, obviously.
Okay.
That I agree with.
Okay. I don't know that I want to carve it out necessarily. It's something that's been in the back of my head for a little bit. We've done some work here with some of our memos, but I'm thinking of legislative feedback loop or something else. I don't know if anybody else saw the note that came out with the most recent tear sheet, but it looks like GO was not funded to the level we asked for. Looks like it's actually going to stay static at the 29 million, not even the 30 million that the House has put out. At least that's what came out of the Senate. So, I think there's maybe something we can do to think about how we can up our legislative advocacy game, but we're just brainstorming. And that's not necessarily a specific agenda item to that point. I know some other committees actually have a legislative subcommittee. I don't want to do that because we have too many committees we're already involved in or liaisons, but just something to think about. If there's anything that you see on your agenda that you see coming out of any of the legislative sessions that you think we should be doing something about, please let me know as the year goes on. Okay. All right.
The other thing I'll add too is if we want to wait to get a date for our Boston meeting, or if that's something we want to set earlier.
That's a good question. The earlier we know, the better we can plan. I personally liked having it in April this year. I don't know about anybody else. Having it earlier, so the April 10th meeting might be a great one to just target. I think it was a good time of year. We got a lot of update out of it. We were also able to continue with the rest of the end of the year activities, and we still had a very, very heavy end of the year as well. So I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts.
So I can see if Millie has that date available from Boston too.
Yeah.
So
If we can lock that in, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, if it works for everybody else, that works for the calendar. That we're getting in the way of that. There's a very high likelihood I'll have to do it again that weekend for sort of a recurring annual thing I have to do. So
We could do March 27th.
March 27th is certainly safer for me, but that's fine. There you go.
Is that what you were trying to not say?
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was actually going to say something about.
Okay. So why don't we do March 27th? Make sure I think it's been a hard time. I don't think we've ever had all of us there. I think I missed the first two, and you missed the last one.
you were sick for one.
I was sick for one, and I was out of town for the other, or something like that. So.
Okay.
So yeah, if we can get us all there on March 27th, that's great.
If it's not available, I'll shoot sometime in that area.
Okay. Now,
Tom,
go ahead.
sorry.
We're not going to adjust anything around here.
My anniversary. So back to the whole legislative bringing things to their attention. There is a chance that the MSBA will modify their per square footage allocation. Once if the vote passes and we are moving forward with the project, we're locked into that value. You remember how they went up to $605 per square foot for construction costs or for project costs. There's one more opportunity where they may vote to change that in September, October. So certainly if there's anything we can do from a legislative point of view to advocate for that.
Is that a legislative change or is it MSBA regulatory change?
That's a good question. It's because I start to think about it. So 1 cent, right? 1 cent goes towards, or sales tax goes towards MSBA projects. So
I think the square foot regulation is an MSBA rule, yeah, but obviously it has implications for their funding levels.
and it doesn't hurt to ask our representatives to push for that, right? Even if it isn't MSBA.
I think it's a great idea, and maybe we can talk about it. You and I can have a conversation to see if we can put something on our August agenda. Yeah, once we know who we're appealing to.
Exactly.
Right, so let's figure that out in action.
This conversation made me think of it. It would be something for us.
And that's a reimbursement rate.
Absolutely.
So that impacts the taxes down, right? So, okay, good. Anything else like that might be on a periphery? Those are the kind of things I want us to be a little bit more aggressive about. Okay. The September meeting dates. I think there's a couple different options there. I didn't even put a third one, which is maybe September 2nd. But primarily because I actually wanted school. Oh, okay. September 5th, I mean. September 5th. Because I primarily wanted school to actually have a complete week before we met again. But, we have an option of either the second Thursday, September 12th, and then a Monday, the 23rd, or just 2 Mondays in September. And I want to put out there because I know Monday is always the best day for people, and it's a little bit hard from a calendar scheduling perspective as well. But any feedback or thoughts from this group here? What are preferences?
We sort of build our home life calendar around Thursdays, so my preference is always to keep it on a Thursday if possible, but
so one of those Thursdays is one of the back to school nights. That's why we can't do like the 12th.
yeah,
19th,
if it's
26th.
unavoidable, obviously make it work, but if we just sort of like flipping a coin between Monday and Thursday, so make them for Thursday personally.
I'd rather not do that.
Okay, so 12th and 23rd then, people are comfortable with that? One Monday as opposed to 2 Mondays? Okay, so we'll go with 12th and 23rd then. The last item is the end of the year, and I think as everybody knows, the end of the year gets a little tricky. I was trying to find the April town meeting dates. I don't know that they're fully there. I'm somewhat forecasting it based upon spring break. Spring break's pretty late this year. Technically, it's by the charter, so I should be able to calculate it out, but I think it's still going to be around the same type of stuff, spring break being before it. So what I currently had listed was just May 12th, May 29th, and June 12th, and I felt like that wasn't going to be enough time, considering it's usually a very heavy materials time frame, right? So we put out 2 options, May 12th and 22nd, June 5th and June 16th. June 16th is a Monday. June 2nd is a Monday. June 5th is a Thursday. May 22nd is a Thursday, and May 12th is a Monday. Because it's right after the town meeting.
So if town meeting goes 4 nights, it'll go through Thursday at 8.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
And that is correct, that's on the calendar.
okay, is it now?
April 28th and May 8th. Correct.
So, again, going to the fewer Mondays than necessary, or keeping the Mondays limited, would probably be option A based on people's feedback in the previous one, which would be on Monday the 12th and then a Monday the 16th of June. But 2 Thursdays between that, May 22nd and June 5th. But I just wanted to see if that's consistent, that's what people are comfortable with. June 19th we can't do because it's Juneteenth, it's a holiday.
So sorry, I have May 29th.
That's what I have in there right now.
Oh, okay.
Right, but I didn't feel like if I did May 29th, I should do June 5th.
I would not be in favor of June 16th because if it's the last day of school, which it could be. Hopefully it is. I just think that would be the top thing to have people being
Okay. So then is there a different, so we want to do June,
I'm fine with June 12th.
just two back-to-back weeks, basically, towards the end of the year, June 5th and June 12th? Unless you want to do June 2nd and June 12th. Should be moving the Monday.
So you're saying we need 2 in May, 2 in June?
Based on the historical end-of-year calendar, I think we need 2 in May. We can also punt it and say we don't need to make a decision
What's
yet.
the current last day?
So June 16th.
It's Monday.
Congrats.
I think Mark, yeah, Sean just confirmed it as well.
Permanent Building Committee and Killam both, we kind of do our meetings on Mondays, so I would grab, we could keep them on it. Even if we had to do like the 15th,
Okay.
just in case, just so this will run into problems. We're working on this.
We can, so why don't we tentatively do that then, the 12th, the 22nd, the 5th, and the 16th. We could also do the 15th and the 22nd if people want to really do it, Thursday. That's an option, I suppose.
Wait, sorry. So May 12th, Monday.
May 12th is Monday,
Thursday, May 29th?
May 22nd.
Okay. Thursday,
Thursday.
May 22nd.
Thursday, June 5th, Thursday, June 12th. Is that what I'm hearing as a consensus around the virtual room here, the physical room?
Yeah, and then we should know when it's getting closer. If we need,
If we can relax one of them, we can
if we
relax
need
one of
that
them.
June 5th, obviously, that's the one we would
Right.
probably.
Exactly. Okay. I mean, usually it's all of the end of year stuff. Dr. Milczewski's review is going to be the big one that year, not the informative, so it's the whole summit and a few other things that are coming in that time of year. So May 12th, May 22nd, June 5th, and June 12th. It's option C, not D. Okay. All right, good. We'll do that, and then like I said, we'll publish this. I'll try and keep it at the back of the packet every week as well, just so people have it. And I'll work with Carla to overlay the Killam School calendar stuff as well, both the business meetings and any community forums, so we can know and people can plan to attend as many of those. This is a huge year for that, so I think we probably need to be visible in those meetings as much as possible. And then I think as well, I have already started corresponding with the Student Advisory Committee leadership. They did select them before the end of the year this year, so we do know who the 2 chair and vice chair members are. We don't know the other 3 members yet. They'll be voted on when they get back to school. But we'll be able to work with them as much as possible. Okay. All right. 30 minutes. Moving down the list.
90 seconds, please.
Moving down the list, school committee facilities naming. The packet includes the update. Chuck is our representative, as we know. Jess is going to be there as a consultant from the principal perspective. Karen Herrick was selected by the select board. Jess brought Daniel Pastore as the voting member from a student perspective, and Alex Van Horn as the associate from a student perspective. The historical commission has brought Christine Keller to the table. In that role, and today and yesterday I finally received 2 pieces of information of applicants, and basically they can be interchanged. Yeah, exactly. So Nick Bauer on Haven, Nick is one of them. Nick Face and Julie Centrella the second one. Those are the only 2 I think I've received so far, and considering we're meeting on it right now, I think we can finalize it. We've had plenty of time for people to volunteer. So
Great group.
it is a great group. So Chuck can get started with organizing and scheduling and all that kind of fun stuff, and working through with Olivia in town to get things going. Great. As he has calendar schedules, we'll probably overlay that too. And the last item on the agenda is our reorganization and pick up with the vice chair related portions of that. I will open the floor for any nominations for vice chair. Carla? Okay, any seconds?
Second.
So you accept it?
Yes.
Any other nominations? All in favor? All opposed? And it passes. Congratulations. Did you go too far?
Well, we're back to you.
Motion to adjourn?
Jeff.
I haven't been asked to name anybody to Bill Russell Committee. Okay.
I think I mentioned it in my liaison report that the select board created that and presumably will be coming to us looking for somebody, but that hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet, no, but to that point, we have an agenda item for committees. I could go back in time to that. No, we haven't voted on the adjournment yet. I didn't specifically list it.
Do we know
But-
if they need someone for August 22nd?
I would
So we're not
presume they
meeting.
probably need somebody before August 22nd, so thank you for asking.
Nick of time.
We don't technically need to discuss it as
We
a chair
don't.
appointment.
It's a chair appointment. But if anybody's interested about this, if anybody's interested, let me know, and I'll close the loop. Hopefully, at least one of you is interested. We'll close the loop appropriately.
Can we follow up with you offline?
I'd be
Oh, I'm
interested.
sorry.
I don't know my availability technically, but I'd be interested.
I'm in the same boat, like I would certainly be interested, I just need to figure out when and how frequently it's gonna meet.
Yeah, I don't have any information.
I don't know that anybody can get information, so, I'll find out what I can find out. I'll circle back with the two of you that expressed interest, and then we can go from there. Right?
Yeah.
All right, so the motion to adjourn is on the table. It's already been seconded, so we'll take that. All in favor? All opposed? It passes. Thank you. Very, very.
I don't know if we did it.